Hello, hello. How are you? Happy, Sunday in live time if you're watching this live. I'm also repurposing this for my podcast tomorrow. So happy Monday if you're listening to this on the podcast. My name is Lindsay Dollinger, and I got an awesome question in my Boss Up Your Brand workshop last week from my friend Gail. So shout out to Gail for your question. I'll be sure to tag you in this video when I'm done so that I know that you're able to get your answer to your question. But we were really diving deep into building and creating a brand. And I say building and creating because, as we talked about in the branding workshop, I am a firm believer that you get to create your brand. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be how you have been up until this point. Hello, Erica. How are you? It doesn't have to be how you've been up until this point. You get to really decide, like, how do you want to show up? In what way do you want to show up? What kind of value do you want to show up? What kinds of things do you want to talk about? You get to decide your values and your morals and all kinds of things. So I don't want to dive into that because we did that in the workshop. But a question that Gail asked me was, how are you able to effectively promote, sell, whatever in more than two companies, referring specifically to network marketing, I'm assuming, or even, two different sorts of offers. So I know there are a lot of people that listen to me who are coaches, who are teachers, who possibly also have a network marketing business. I know there are some people who have more than one network marketing business. And I have done that, and I did that for several years as well. And that is why I think branding and branding effectively is so important, because when you create your personal brand, you are branding yourself and you are putting yourself out there as Lindsay Dollinger, as fill in the blank with your name, instead of Lindsay Dollinger, comma, fill in the blank with your company or your product, right? And the magical thing about creating a brand that way is that you can pivot, you can add in things, you can delete things, you can completely quit selling stuff for a while if you want to. You can completely change paths, because if you are really living your brand the way that you are aligned, the way that lights you up, and you feel your purpose and you feel passionate about it, it's going to grow with you as you grow. So it's going to pivot. It's going to be tweaked as you know, like I said, as you grow, as you evolve as a business owner, your brand is as well. And so as you add in a new offer, as you add in another company that you're an affiliate for, it's just going to seem really natural if you are doing the branding components, quote unquote, the right way. So some of the things that we talked about, like a quick overview, we did this in my branding workshop, like I said. So if you already saw the branding workshop, hopefully this will help you like wrap all of this together. But one of the things that I talked about was picking 3 to 5 areas that I called your content pillars or your content buckets. So for me, those are women in business, Disney, self-care, inspiration, and my 5th one is like my dog and my family. And I kind of recommend everyone's 5th one to be something personal if you do post personal things on your wall. You don't have to. I just choose to do that. Just one, because I have been on social media literally since like I was the first round of people invited to be on Facebook when it was just for college kids. I don't even know if you guys remember that, but it was just for college kids. And there was an article in our city newspaper, and my dad read it to me, and my dad actually told me to get on Facebook. It was like a week before school started, and it was like, there's this new social media. I don't even think they called it social media at that time. I don't even remember what they called it. A new website for kids going to college. You had to have a .edu web like email address. Anyway, so my dad actually told me to get on Facebook. So Dad, if you're listening to this, you're the one who told me to get on Facebook, just to be clear. But anyway, so I have had it for such a long time that, I used it solely for personal purposes for a really long time. And I don't want to take that part away, because it's also a way that I keep in touch with, friends and family all over the world. So I would recommend that to be your 5th bucket. The women in business is, so I'm a business coach. I have my podcast as well, the Purpose and Pixie Dust podcast. And then I have different things that I'm an affiliate for that I share affiliate links for. So I clump all of that in my women in business category. Disney is, something that I really enjoy. I'm very passionate about. I find a lot of purpose in it. I bring that and I tie that in. My podcast is called the Purpose and Pixie Dust podcast. I tie it into my membership for social sellers. It's called the Magical Membership for Social Sellers. And I don't do it like a ton, but like the graphics have a little Disney touch on it. And we talk about, magical Mondays or something. So like I pull that in there as well. So that's like my Disney aspect. But then I also share like my love of Disney and like my favorite Disney movie that I watched on Friday night. Or not. Oh, actually, it wasn't my favorite movie. It was a Disney movie I had never watched. I'm training right now for the Disney marathon. I don't know if you can tell. That said Run Disney. So I'm drinking out of my Run Disney cup right now. And so, side note on how you can do this. And I'm not actually even affiliate for this brand yet. I reached out to them and I've done some giveaways with them, but I'm hoping to become an affiliate for it's LMNT. It's an electrolyte powder. Really like it. It's super clean. So I just put in my stories a picture of me pouring the electrolytes into my Run Disney cup. So there it goes still into my Disney, my Disney theme, and also my self-care theme bucket. That's like another theme bucket that I have. And I just said, like, I really recommend these electrolytes. And so, well, I'll talk more about stories in a second. So that's what I'm like trying to show you is once you have your brand buckets really well defined and they fit in and match really well what you are doing and who you are serving and the sort of content that you're creating, and you're kind of attracting those people to you, it's going to become more natural for you to post about different ways people can work with you as long as they fall into those buckets. So, if you really can't figure those out, that would be something that we could do one of my VIP strategy calls for. We could really like work down. It took me a while to get my buckets down so that everything really flows super nicely together. Now, another way that you can do things is, like I mentioned, my stories. So I am not posting about, especially things that I am an affiliate for, on my main wall all the time. I might do it once every few weeks, or I just became an affiliate for Gut Personal. It is a women-owned brand. I am very passionate about gut health. Specifically gut health used to be one of my pillars. I've expanded into the self-care because I'm currently training for a marathon. I was talking about my Peloton a lot, and I just needed a little bit broader of a category. But I do talk about gut health a lot in my stories from time to time on my wall. And then I post my affiliate link. I put it in my emails. So I just added it as a template at the bottom of my emails. And then I share about it in my stories when I'm making my drink, and I post a link for it. So if you have products like that you can actually consume or that you are using daily, it's really natural for you to post those in your stories, to show behind the scenes, to show how you are using them, and then to link them and to put a call to action for people to work with you in that way. The other side, like for my business coaching things, I post more about that because it is my main thing. I'm a really firm believer that you need to have a main thing. You need to have a main thing, and you need to really focus on that while you're growing it. And then you can add in a secondary thing that you are focusing more on. So my coaching is my main thing. So you're going to see me posting way more about that women in business category, about ways people can work with me for free, ways you can listen to my podcast, where and how you can work with me in paid offers. And then from time to time, I'm going to be posting about my secondary, my faster way to fat loss, because I don't want to confuse my audience. That is very true. But as I am naturally putting these things into my content and peppering them in, my posts, for example, I'm trying to remember even last time. So I posted about a really great workout I did with my Faster Way to Fat Loss app. This was a few weeks ago. And I posted like how great it made me feel and maybe a couple of the moves, and these are the things that I really liked about it. And then my call to action was just like, I have another round in a couple weeks. Let me know if you want more information, or you can click here. And a lot of people like the click here versus like having to reach out to you. And then I just, naturally progressed into something else. But like, I'm making what I am sharing about my products stories, and I'm making them personal, and I'm showing people how I'm using them in my life. And when you are doing that, it's going to be so much more natural. It's not going to feel weird, and you're not going to feel as though you have all these like conflicting sales or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? You're not going to feel as conflicted about sharing those things when they are naturally part of your brand. So, long story short for this question is, step one, I think you need to get really clear about your brand pillars. And step two, have your main focus that you are growing right now. And you can still talk about other things 100% for sure. But your main focus should be the one that if you're doing like a content audit and you're scrolling your social media, or you're looking back at your emails that you have sent most recently, that's the thing that you were talking about the most when you were talking about your sales or when you're talking about businesses. But the really important thing to remember when we're talking about our content is we have 3 to 5 brand pillars for a reason. And that reason is to try, it's not going to be perfect, but to try to talk about those things equally so that you are a very well-rounded brand, so that people get to know you, and so that when they go to your page or your stuff pops up, they're not going to be tempted to hide you because you're like selling stuff all the time or you're posting company graphics all the time. 100% the way I have built all my businesses is storytelling, showing people how I use them. Like, I have links for people to buy my nail polish strips. I very rarely post them, very, very rarely, but I will send out an email when there's new launches, get sales that way. And people see my nails like from my videos or whatever. They'll ask, or they'll see me in person and they'll ask, and then they'll buy from my link. So I hope that helps. Like, those examples, like, you don't have to be pushing a product all the time. I really would like to encourage you to like have that cohesive brand, that helps people get to know you, helps people know exactly how they can work with you, and shows people like how truly amazing you really are. Because if you're holding yourself back from posting those things, people aren't going to get to that level of know, like, and trust, and they're not going to be curious and click an affiliate link when you post it. So if you've been posting things and like you're not having that success, please reach out and let's do a VIP strategy session. Those are brand new. I just opened them up for the first time. I've been doing them like I won't say under the table. Obviously, I've been charging for them and things, but I've been doing them like kind of one-off when people have been messaging me, but this is me like starting to actually promote them because I've been getting such great feedback. These are things that we can work through, and a simple call or two can completely change your posting strategy and actually get you some results that are really great. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I will be repurposing this. This will be on the podcast tomorrow, the Purpose and Pixie Dust podcast. So if you have yet to check out the podcast, this is episode like 200 and I think 202. So there's lots of me talking, lots of tips, also lots of me interviewing other women entrepreneurs and then sharing their experiences and their journeys. So, you never know what you're going to get from it. So check out the podcast. Let me know if you're interested in a VIP strategy session or my magical membership. And I will talk to you guys all soon. Happy Sunday. Bye.